Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Christian Alana. I'm one of the facilitators here today. Thank you for joining us both in person. We wanted to let you all know that this meeting is hybrid, so we also have members of the public joining us online, and we have some logistical items to go over just to ensure that we have an accessible meeting for everyone, whether you're here in person or online. So I'm going to pass it off to my colleague Frank here to share some information.
Hola a todos y gracias por unirse con nosotros hoy a esta reunión, la primera reunión de esta comisión tan importante. Nosotros estamos bien emocionados de empezar con este trabajo y también reconocemos que hay miembros de la comunidad que están con nosotros aquí virtualmente hoy. La reunión es híbrida, así que yo voy a darle a aquellos miembros del público que estén en el Internet por Zoom algunas instrucciones. Y si hay alguna persona aquí que necesita traducción al español, tenemos dispositivos, usted puede ir atrás a buscarlo y pues participar en la conversación también. Si usted está en el Internet y necesita interpretación simultánea, usted solamente tiene que hacer clic en la función de interpretación que tiene un icono de un globo. Y cuando le dé al icono del globo, por favor seleccionar español y ahí tendrá la traducción al mismo tiempo. Muchas gracias. Ahora vamos pues a la próxima slide. Pues le voy a presentar esta parte en español para aquellos que tal vez estén todavía seteando su traducción. Si usted entra a la página web sanjosek.gov Fund Commission, al principio va a mirar ahí donde está las palabras en blanco con el fondo rojo. Debajo estará una opción para que usted seleccione su idioma, que claro sería español. Y cuando haga eso, la página web será traducida al momento. Si usted quiere acceder los materiales, incluyendo la presentación y la agenda que van a ser compartidos en esta junta aquí hoy, solamente tiene que bajar un poco en la página web y ahí mirará los enlaces, claro, de nuevo en español una vez que usted cambie el lenguaje. Muchas gracias.
Great, thank you, Frank. So right now we're gonna let's just recognize that this is a big room and we really want to make a welcoming space for everyone. So just shake out those nerves. It's our first time doing this in a while, but thank you for your time and energy today, whether you're joining us as a commissioner, a member of the public right now, or online. Thank you so much for spending your time here on this really important commission for our community. I'm going to pass it off to Nancy and Lori for some introductions.
Good evening, commissioners. I am so excited to be here with you for the very first time. My name is Nancy Klein, and I'm the Director of Economic Development and Cultural Affairs. And this day has literally been years in the making. And in fact, this group makes history today. The kind of lived experience, shared experience, fund commission, we have not found that it exists anywhere. So what you and we will be doing together is working to find ways to stabilize and assist the community and to break open, create opportunities and pathways for learning, education, and many things that together we'll discover we may not know of yet. But it is a momentous time. And in the beginning, it can seem small. It can seem like we don't have guests to watch, but we know we've had many who have been watching this process in the days and years leading up to this moment. So I want to thank you seriously for taking this task on and for the commitment as we form a bond and work together to do an extreme amount of good for the community. And I also want to have the opportunity just to, especially for the folks who might be looking on the hybrid mode, a lot of people have had some misinformation about what is or isn't going to happen with the Downtown West project. In fact, we don't know. There is not any indication that it won't happen. The company, like every other tech company today, is reassessing how much space they will need when. But this isn't in any way dead. And a lot of people in the press have said such a thing, and it's absolutely not true. So that means what you're doing, what we're doing here is very meaningful. And over the next time frame together, we will have major milestones that will choose and select consultants that will work for all of you and all of us. We will form a 5-year plan that the council will approve and give input into, but then comes back to you to implement. So in every funding decision of monies that we achieve, get over time, will be designated and determined by you, by the people sitting here. That's partly what makes it very unusual and pretty darn cool. So with that, I'm happy at the end or whenever the agenda calls for, if there are any other questions or clarifications. While we began with one incredible project, this fund was designed to bring in multiple funders, because what we aim to do is do very well the two buckets of our task, stabilization and opportunity. And so that others, plus the city, will see the good investment that it can be to do good on both sides of that house. With that, I just am excited, and thank you so very much for being part of this. Turn it back to Lori.
Great. Thank you, Nancy.
So just to, Laura, do you want to introduce yourself?
So thank you for the welcome, Nancy. My name's Lori Severino, and I'm joined here by Zach Mendez. So the people you've been getting emails from. So Zach was setting up the room and wasn't able to join our oath of office portion. But wave your hand, Zach. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so I would like to introduce our consulting team from Winter Consulting. So we brought them on to help be the neutral facilitators and just help us prepare for each of these meetings and make sure that they're going to be very productive and well run. So I'll turn it back to you, Christian.
Thank you so much, Lori. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Christian Olano. I'm an associate director with Winter Consulting. We're really excited and thrilled to be partners with the city in facilitating these conversation and dialogues to help you all as commissioners achieve your goal to come up with meaningful benefits for the community. Just a little bit about Winter Consulting. We have been around for almost 8 years. We're a community engagement firm, and our goal is to lift up underrepresented voices, historically marginalized voices in our community. And we've done so in a variety of different projects, not just here in San Jose, but throughout the Bay Area. Me personally, I've held a number of different capacities in working in San Jose, working with housing, immigration concerns, and also with COVID-19 relief and recovery. And I'm really thrilled to be back here today with you all in community. I'm also joined here by my colleague, Frank, who will do a short introduction as well.
Thank you, Christian. This is the second time Christian and I are co-workers. Also, I'm also an associate director at Winter. Before doing the work at Winter, and as Christian said, we do engagement all over the Bay Area, including San Jose. But San Jose was the place where I got my professional career started as an organizer, also working for a former council member and some of our nonprofits here as well. So I'm really excited to be in this room and to have this important conversation. And I know we've got some other folks to introduce, so I'll pass it back to Christian.
Yeah, and also joining us and part of our team, Corinne Winter from our company, Nan Wen, who's back here, if you want to raise your hand, and Jocelyn Banuelos over there, who've been excellent staff and coworkers and colleagues with us, who will be helping support us in this process. So with that, I think next slide.
So this is where we want to hear from you. So if anybody has any questions about how to turn on the mic, you should see a microphone attached to your desk. There is a button that says mic. You press it, you speak, it should work. If it doesn't, somebody will come help you. We will have you commissioners introduce yourselves, and we want to get to know you with two prompts. We want to hear your names and pronouns, and also we want to hear briefly what is your main area of interest as it relates to this commission here today. So we're going to start here on the leftmost seat and then move rightward.
Hello, everyone. Monique Melchor. I'm with the City of San Jose, Work to Future. My pronouns are she, her, ella. And what was the other? So what I do, if you all don't know, Work to Future provides services to individuals if they're in need of upgrading their skills. And I've been doing that for almost 23 years. So this is really a good place for me to be, to kind of see what you're all going to see and provide services to the community. So I'm really excited to be here, and thank you all.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Josh Ishimatsu, acting division manager with the housing department, he, him. And, you know, we're, as staff on the commission, we're non-voting members, but here to help support the commission, and especially around issues of housing, preservation, community development, anti-displacement.
Good evening. I'm Kiyomi Yamamoto. Pronouns are she, her. Most of my work right now relates around advancing housing justice, but this commission, I think, is unique and very significant because it's community-led and because of the oversight that the community will have. So I'm very pleased and honored to be on this group.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Olivia Ortiz. My pronouns is she, hers. I am an organizer in the community, and I've been organizing around housing. So that's something very important to me. We're trying to organize against displacement. So that's one of my main areas. Of course, you know, everything else matters too, but my main thing is housing, you know, dignity housing for our community. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lisana Dominguez. I am the Chief of Staff and Strategy Officer for the Silicon Valley Education Foundation. My pronouns are she, her, and ella. And my main area of interest in this commission will be around education, career pathways, college and career readiness, and career readiness, technical skills, and all that. Thank you.
Hi, Jeffrey Buchanan, pronouns are he, him. Yeah, so super excited to be here. You know, it was almost 6 years ago that with some folks on this dais and others that might be watching at home, we started talking about a community benefits fund, you know, led by the community. And, you know, we did a massive survey at the beginning of that work. And the thing that community, we heard, the things that they wanted the most were, you know, a real plan to invest in community ownership and addressing displacement, and, you know, good jobs, good union jobs, hopefully, but, you know, good jobs, trying to get those as outcomes, I think, of this fund, and just show, you know, the success of having the community be the deciders. You know, that's the things I feel most excited about the commission. Thanks so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Regina Celestin Williams. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a resident of District 3. And my main area of interest is anti-displacement and through affordable housing and shared prosperity.
Good evening, everyone. Josefina Aguilar, pronouns she, her, ella. I'm the executive director of the South Bay Community Land Trust, which is a nonprofit whose mission is to take property off of the speculative market and protect tenants from displacement, as well as doing rehab on buildings when needed to preserve this affordable housing in perpetuity. Also to help residents transition from renters to being owners. So my interest here is part of my career as an urban planner. I find it an honor and a privilege to serve the community. So I thank you for that opportunity.
Good evening. My name is Raymond Ramsey. My pronouns are he, him, brother. And I am first and foremost a unhoused advocate. I was on the streets on and off for 10 years. I was housed at Second Street Studios in 2019, co-founder of the Second Street Tenant Association and currently president. I'm a member of numerous organizations and boards, but the three that form my foundation are Grace Solutions, where I handle the outreach there, Neighborhood Hands, which cleans the parks and provides support services to the homeless, and Survivors of the Streets Committee, where I'm the facilitator for the group at Sacred Heart. I can recall doing an interview with Spotlight about 2 to 3 years ago before the commission was created. And I was doing a protest and I said, I want to be on that commission. And I expressed an interest at that time. And I'm very glad to be here. And primary reason is to give a voice to the unhoused in our community. Thank you.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Good evening.
Mi nombre es Alma Bailón.
My name is Alma Bailón.
Estoy con la Comisión de Luna,
I am with the Luna Commission,
luchando papeles para todos.
and we're fighting for documents for everyone.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sofia Jaques. My pronouns are she, her, ella. I am a founding member of the Youth Liberation Movement, a youth-led nonprofit in Santa Clara County. I also sit on the San Jose Conservation Corps and Charter School Board, as well as the Work to Future Board. And I also am attending UC Berkeley to get my sociology bachelor's degree currently. I also work with the San Jose Library as their College and Career Pathways Fellow, and I'm very excited about that. The reason I'm here is to advocate for better housing solutions for the community. I'm very much about anti-displacement as well and career pathways and overall success for our historically uninvolved communities. Thank you.
Buenas noches, mi
Good-
nombre es Juana Villalpando.
Good evening. My name is Juana Villalpando.
Soy líder en el Centro
I am a
Comunitario del
leader in
Sagrado
the
Corazón,
Community Center in Sacred Heart,
en el Comité de Pasos, personas activas
and I'm in the
sobresalientes.
Pasos Committee, and
Somos personas activas sobresalientes
we are
organizando por
people,
soluciones.
active people, and we are outstanding,
Ok.
and we're looking for solutions.
Mi interés de estar en este comité es evitar el desplazamiento,
My interest in this committee is to avoid displacement,
que es igual la separación de familias, lo cual he
which is the
sufrido
same as the separation of
personalmente.
families, which I have suffered myself.
Y pues viviendas accesibles como la mayoría de
And
nosotros
affordable
lo pide,
housing like most of us want
tanto para bajo ingreso y mediano ingreso,
for low and medium income,
y también combatir las personas en la calle o el homeless
and
que
also
viven, personas
fighting
que
for
viven en la calle.
people who live in the streets, the homeless.
Bueno, pues gracias.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Abubakar NDI. I go by ASIN, he, him pronouns. I am the California Housing and Climate Campaign Manager for Power Switch Action. So my interest in this commission is, a little bit of a, I think it was kind of at the beginning of the process for this commission. I'm really excited to be sitting on it. I think it could be a really great model for community funds and for community oversight and investment in the community. My main interests are anti-displacement, housing preservation, and racial equity, and then primarily helping San Joseans who want to stay in San Jose be able to stay and thrive in this community.
Thank you all. I want to pass it on to Ricardo Benavides and then Connie Alvarez.
Never done this before. Ricardo Benavides, I am a member of the Google Real Estate Development Team. I've worked with many of you over the years on the community engagement and the construct of the Community Benefits Fund. As the strategic plan unfolds, would love to just continue to explore what other synergies may exist within Google's overall philanthropic investments and strategies. But more importantly, what drives me and what motivates me is I am a lifelong member of San Jose. I grew up in East San Jose, parents from a humble background. And so I also know that my being here is based on benefiting from social services over the years. So to be in a position to help advocate for that is definitely a privilege and a responsibility.
Good evening. My name is Connie Alvarez, and I go by the pronouns she, her, ella, and I am part of the Allen Rock Santa Clara Street Business Association. My interest here is the community and business development, creating and maintaining the businesses in our corridor. I'm thankful to be here and contribute in any way that I can. I've had my business in the corridor 30 years. I'm a property owner and a business owner, so I know what it's been to see changes come in our corridor and maintaining and striving for the smaller businesses that are around me.
Thank you all. I'm really excited for this group and the conversations that we're all going to have. We're now going to talk a little bit about the agenda tonight, and for that, I'll pass it on to Christian Olano.
I echo what Frank said. I'm really excited. We have I'm a big believer in strength in numbers, strength in the diversity of voices in this room. So just great accomplishment by being here today. Just really quickly before I proceed, if there are members of the public, we know we have commissioners, we're going to give them an opportunity to have discussion after we have a presentation. But if you're a member of the public, either physically here in the room or online, just to let you know, we do have an opportunity for you to speak at the end. Just fill out a comment card and you can drop it in the box over here over there on either side of the seating area here. And if you're online, we'll give instructions later at the end after our commissioner discussion. So there is time for that. And with the agenda, just really quick, we did the introductions. We'll have a staff presentation by Nancy and Lori, and then we'll have public comment, and then aim to wrap it up quickly after that. So with that, I'll pass it off to Lori.
All right. Great. So we're going to just provide a very quick overview of the commission, how we got here, the structure. It's probably things that most of you have heard getting to this point, but we're just going to give that baseline, especially for any members of the public who are joining us in this process for the very first time. Then we'll get into a little bit more detail about the work plan for the commission and how we see the next couple meetings playing out, what we think the agenda will be. I think we'll pause for questions at that point and then resume with 3 and 4 on the list here. Just some quick reminders for you as commissioners about the rules and the responsibilities that come with being a commissioner. We'll have more time to talk about that at upcoming meetings as well. Just these first couple meetings are about laying the groundwork. So part of that is to establish group agreements, or these are the ground rules or guiding principles for how we will all work together. We'll wrap up by looking ahead and just zeroing in on the next meeting and when it will be, and getting a quick poll on which dates will work best, because planning meetings in the summer is not that easy. So we'll do a poll on that. Next slide. All right, so you've probably seen this slide a few times now. It's just our quick overview of how we got here. So in May 2021, the City Council approved Google's Downtown West development project. And as part of that, there is a development agreement that does a lot of things, but one of it is to outline up to $200 million in community benefits. And as many of the commissioners mentioned in their introduction, this was a long process to get to that point, and the focus was on equity, both in terms of the process and the outcomes. So we did do a lot of engagement from 2018 to 2021 that helped create that development agreement and the community benefits in it. So I want to call attention to a handout that we put in your binders, and for the members of the public, it's up at the sign-in table, and we will post it online after this meeting. It's just a couple slides that we pulled from a recent presentation to the Community and Economic Development Council Committee back in January. We just want to summarize how the $200 million breaks down. It shows that Google has fulfilled the obligations for a couple of those already. One is to transfer parcels to the city for affordable housing development. And the other one is to pay $7.5 million to the city for programs related to housing, economic opportunity, and neighborhood services. So city staff has implemented or is in the process of implementing all of those programs. The exception is the $1 million allocated to activate the Gardner Community Center. The direction from council for this piece was for neighborhood leaders to conduct an outreach and engagement process to generate recommendations from the community. So the neighborhood leaders that are working on that are close to finishing that process. And then staff will be able to develop an action plan to implement the community recommendations. So we link to that committee slides for more information. And then we also call attention to a website that we have that has all the background on the development agreement and community benefits. And we'll use that website to post updates as we go along. So that's in addition to the website that we set up for the Fund Commission. So as we move along, there's just a lot more information to be archiving and keeping track of. All right, so next slide. So zeroing in on Exhibit H of the development agreement, I think the development agreement is several hundred pages. So you got to go to the end to find Exhibit H there. This is what established the framework for this commission and for the fund itself. So in terms of how the fund will get money into it, the contributions will be made as the Downtown West office space is built out. Specifically, this is at a rate of $21.20 per gross square foot of constructed space. And those contributions will be required after the city issues certificates of occupancy to office buildings. So the office buildings get built and are ready to be occupied. And at that point, that's when the payments are due. So if all the approved offices were built out based on the approved project in 2021, that would generate up to $154.8 million. Want to acknowledge too that Google has committed to advancing $15 million earlier than that requirement. This would come shortly after the first vertical building permit is issued for the first office building that's 1 million square feet or larger. So once the funds come in, then we will be able to work with this commission in distributing them as grants to organizations that serve San Jose. So on the next slide, this shows the two program areas. On the left side is community stabilization. So this includes things like anti-displacement, affordable housing, preservation, and services for people experiencing homelessness. On the right side is opportunity pathways. And so this is the jobs and education side of the house. So it includes things like job training, scholarships, career exploration, and both sides touch on small businesses, both on the stabilization side, as well as the entrepreneurship and business support side. Next slide, thank you. So as Nancy mentioned, and some of the commissioners in their introductions, this model is really intended to push the comfort zone. Members include people with lived experiences and professional experiences in the program areas. And as we'll get to in the coming slides, the commission will serve various roles in collaboration with city staff and a third-party fund manager. And there will be checkpoints with council along the way. Next slide. So before I talk more about the specific roles, I want to define some of the language that we'll use when we talk about commissioner and public involvement. So The graphic on the screen is based on a spectrum created by the International Association of Public Participation. This is a tool that we use to help plan for public involvement, as well as communicate about what we are doing when we are involving the public in any public process. So on the left side, it is inform. That is basically a one-way flow of information to just make sure people know what's going on. On the right side of the spectrum is empower, and that is putting the decision-making in the hands of the public. And everywhere in between is things like we're considering this policy change and we would like your feedback, and we gather the feedback and we report back. So there's a spectrum of how we engage the public. Next slide, Zach. So as you'll see on this slide, we will involve the commission in basically all ways along that spectrum. Just depends on the point in the process we're at and the specific type of action at hand. So for example, at the top, we will be sharing a lot of information with you. And then at the bottom, you are empowered to have decision-making on the grants. So you will receive recommendations from the fund manager and be responsible for approving them. And in between there, we'll be getting your help to select the third-party fund manager, review annual performance reports, a lot of opportunity for collaboration when it comes to developing the strategic plan and to guiding the public outreach component that will go into preparing that plan, guiding the competitive grant solicitation processes, and potentially even participating in fundraising activities. So all along the way, this work is going to be occurring in meetings like this. So the expectation is that you attend them, prepare for them, and actively participate. So just a quick look at what the role of the third-party fund manager will be. So they're going to be doing a lot of the legwork and teeing up for you all to be advising and making recommendations. So they'll lead the preparation of the strategic plan in collaboration with the commission and city staff, run the grant process, prepare the reports for your review and then council's review, as well as just participate in these meetings and help make sure that they're in line with the work of the fund. Next slide, thanks. So council also has a role in this. They appointed you all. They will be responsible for approving the contract with the fund manager, adopting the 5-year strategic plan and any the updates following that, for receiving the annual performance reports, and for approving the appropriations for the fund in the city budget. That is very technical speak to just say that we have to acknowledge payments coming in and payments going out through our public budget process. They're not directly involved in the grant making. So staff's role is that we will be responsible for setting up and administering these meetings and running them. And as you know, we've hired a very excellent consulting team to help us with that piece of it. We'll also be responsible for running the procurement process in accordance with city standards and processes when selecting a third-party fund manager. We'll be supporting the strategic plan process and the associated public engagement, not leading it, but just offering our support. And we will be responsible for making sure that the work of the fund and the fund commission is compliant with the legal framework. So that'll be a lot of working with the city attorney's office. We'll also be responsible for taking items to council, like taking the annual progress reports and any actions they need to take. We'll have to do the staff reports and get it in front of them. So one of the very first tasks that we're going to do together is going to be to prepare and adopt bylaws. And so that is basically procedural rules and regulations for how the group will operate. So at the next meeting, which will be sometime in August, we'll bring draft bylaws to you for review and discussion and adjustments and getting them to a point where we can agree on them. And then we'll plan to bring those back at the next meeting for official adoption. If this is the ideal process for how it will go, but we'll get through it. If there needs to be more rounds than just those two, we can accommodate that. So also at the next meeting, we'll provide work with the city attorney's office and clerk's office to provide more training on the rules and regulations that you all and we are all responsible for following. I know you had to do a lot of training on the side as well. So this will just be like highlight the very most important things and make it a little more digestible. And it'll be an opportunity to ask questions to the city's attorney's office just to make sure you understand what are the expectations, because it can be a little overwhelming, I'm sure, to read all of that and understand. The last agenda item for the August meeting will be an introduction to the RFP process. The city's procurement process is an alphabet soup of terminology and requirements. And for you all to participate in that with us, we want to just provide a RFP 101 type session with you all. So as I mentioned, the following meeting number 3, will hopefully be in a position to adopt bylaws, and we will plan to bring a draft RFP for the third party fund manager for a robust discussion with you all. So that'll be an opportunity to weigh in on the scope, the desired qualifications, the criteria that we'll be evaluating them on. So that's the plan for October. Beyond that, it gets a little blurrier, but we do intend to complete the RFP process, onboard the fund manager, and kick off the strategic plan in 2024. And so we'll see what the right frequency of meetings is, when we get a little closer to that time, but thinking it could be 3 to 5 meetings. So either quarterly, but not every month or not every other month even. It'll be more closer to quarterly. That's our thinking right now, at least. So I think that's it. I think we're ready for some Q&A, right? Is that the next slide? Yeah, there we go.
Great. So with that, thank you, Lori. I know that was a lot to take in, so you can take a little breath and just recognize if you want to speak, just to reiterate, members of the public, virtual and online, if you're here, you can fill out a comment card and put it in the box. There will be time at the end after discussion from commissioners for public comment. We also accept emails and letters, and there's a space at the back of the agenda to write it out too. But for you all, for commissioners, if you'd like to speak or have a question, we just ask that you raise your nameplate up, and then we'll call you in order of you raising it up. So feel free. We have some time dedicated for you all to ask any questions or provide any comments. All right. So I see Regina, then Jeffrey.
Yes, thank you for that presentation. I noticed that we have quite a few documents to adopt and pass and things like that. How much ahead of time do we receive those documents ahead of the meeting? So, if we're expected to be able to have a thoughtful discussion around bylaws the next time around, how much ahead of that meeting would we receive that draft or something to kind of ground us in what the discussion might look like? And then the same with the RFP.
Thank you so much for the question. It's excellent. Our normal city process is 10 days, and we aim to, at minimum, give you that amount of time because we agree you need to be able to think about the information, to be able to grasp and formulate questions so we can discuss at the meetings.
And I'll just add, the longer the document, hopefully the longer time. If it's a one pager, it might only be a week, but the 7 to 14 days is kind of the target on that.
I appreciate that. I think if we go 2 or 3 months between meetings, the sooner we can get some of those documents, the better we can be prepared. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for the presentation. So once we onboard the third-party fund manager, what becomes the role in terms of preparation for meetings between the roles of the consulting team, the city staff, and the fund manager, and what tools do we have in place if there are any disagreements between how to resolve those issues? Is the city as the holding the contract with the consultant team that's facilitating? How do we make sure the third-party fund manager has an adequate role in shaping the scope of the meetings to meet the direction of the work that's happening with the third-party fund manager? Because just to say, like, that was part of the idea of having a third-party fund manager was to make sure that decisions are shaped by this board, and that the city has like a technical capacity to supporting moving things forward, but the board is the governing body that is governing the work of the third-party fund manager, which should mean that the shaping of these meetings hopefully will have the third-party fund managers a lot of their voice in the shaping of what these meetings look like.
Thank you very much for the question. I think from a city point of view, the city is here to be in service of the work of the commission. The first important part is to make sure that the RFP to select the fund manager, the scope reflects the will of the commission. So that is the first part of the work, and us doing that work together thoughtfully and right will really set us on an important, good path. Then finding a really good option for the fund commissioner will then lead us into a discussion together between the fund manager and the commission, with the city supporting, of how we develop rules and regs. We're going to count on part of the experience from the fund manager and what work they have done in prior experience, and to adopt that to this particular commission. Part of that small way, which you've done many times, I know, is to agree on our working rules and rules of engagement. So we're not as yet ready for that point, but there will be a very open and definitive process to engage. And we may need to iterate as things occur, but it again will be the founding of those documents will be at the commission's direction.
Perfect. No, thanks so much. And I realize that this is complicated because we're kind of building the plane as we go, but I appreciate the thoughtful answer. Thank you.
And I'll just add that one of the things we worked on when adopting the ordinance was adding us to the list of commissions that get to develop our own bylaws. Some default to the standard council policy on that, but some don't. And we felt it was important that this is a really unique type of situation, that it would be important that we really think critically about how all of those dynamics are at play. And so we'll have flexibility along the way to say, we like working with the consultants now, but they know that it's just part of this setup stage and it might not be needed long term. And so we're going to do what we need to do to make sure these meetings are well run. And if that means having them on board, and we all agree to that, that's great, but we can adapt along the way. So I like the analogy of building the plane while flying it. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you so much.
Kiyomi, I think you're next.
I'm next. Okay. I have two questions, and maybe this is what we're talking about the next meeting, but what is the approval or adoption process for this group? And then secondly, what is the current status or projection of the Google development as it relates to this fund?
Could you repeat the first part of what you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so when this body adopts or approves something, what is that process of adoption? Like, is it we all take a vote and it's majority, like how does this body, approve or adopt an item?
Thank you. Let me start with the second question first. Right now, Google is, as you may have heard, as is taking place with many companies, back to work has changed in some regards how tech companies use space or companies use space. So there's a moment to think about what kind of space and how much space. We don't have a definitive time frame of what the reassessment will take in terms of time, but we have talked to Google multiple times, and the commitment to San Jose remains. There isn't any lack of commitment. Sundar Pichai, when you start working on these things, you get a little geeky. So I've been listening to the earnings calls for the company, had said the company may well shed a lot of leases, but we're going to double down, that's the quote, on the company's owned properties. And the property at Deardan is a phenomenally good piece of property. We can also share more about the exciting transportation process that's already happening with Caltrain electrification long before BART will ever come. That's just one example of why Deardan is such a good location, but we don't have a definitive answer that we can give you. Nonetheless, that won't slow our work down in choosing the third-party fund manager and creating the strategic plan. Where and what is the time frame of the development, we will most definitely keep you updated on, and we will see how that dovetails with the development of the structure, the 5-year plan itself. So we very much intend and hope that it marries up and on we go. And in terms of how the body works, generally, the thought at the moment is it functions very much like City Council would, or another committee or commission would. The information will be given to you, and decisions will be made at the meetings. We haven't decided as a team yet if perhaps there'll be subcommittees or other opportunities for group work that will then be brought back to the full committee. Again, we anticipate that that will be a discussion between the fund manager and the commission as we move along.
Thank you.
And I'll just add, we make a good team, right? That the specifics of how a vote would take place will be laid out in the bylaws. So we're going to look at the standard template of that and just see where we would recommend tweaks just based on our experience with inclusive and equitable engagement. We're leading with that as a value, and there might be some things that we would recommend for your all consideration as to, how this group could function similarly to, a planning commission or other commission, or differently. And where is it going to lead to the best type of decision making and voting process for you all? So next meeting, we'll get into the details more.
Thanks, Lori. Any other questions from commissioners? Comments? Go ahead, Asen.
Thanks, y'all. Since the meetings are going to have about 2 to 3 months between them, and we're most likely going to get fairly, I'm assuming, dense documents to look over, who would be our primary TA contacts on the team? For clarification questions or for
Yeah,
questions?
good question. So Zach is our primary staff liaison, and he and I work very closely together. So we'll work with Nancy or the consultants or attorneys or clerks or whatever the question may be about, but we would be your point of contact.
Thank you for that question, Asen. Any final questions or comments regarding? Go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Can I hear a bit about how you had found the relationship with Winter Consulting and how that was established in partnership with this commission?
Yeah, I feel like I've done so many RFPs. I'm like, which one was that? Okay. So we did run a procurement process. We put out a request for proposals for community engagement consultants. And that was to set up a bench of on-call consultants that would have master agreements. So we didn't have a project in mind or a funding source or, encumber any money to any given consultant as part of that. But Winter was one of the 9 consultants that got on the bench through that competitive RFP process. And so from there, we asked for several quotes from the qualified consultants on there, got the responses back, and chose Winter based on their fit for this group.
And there was a panel for reviewing.
Thank you.
All right, going once, going twice. All right, next I know we're almost coming up to the end, but there are a couple just housekeeping items left, and then we'll have wrap-up questions, some fun wrap-up questions for each of you, and then we'll open it up to public comment, and then we'll aim to end at 8:30. I'm going to pass it off to Lloyd.
All right. So the moment you completed your oath of office and signed those forms, you became a Brown Act group. So hopefully most of you have taken the boards and commissions training that the clerk's office requires of you. But if you haven't yet, the Brown Act is a law intended to support transparent government. It's a state law, which means as a local government, we are also subject to it. So you will learn about it in that training that you do individually, as well as a little bit at the next meeting. But these are just the most important things to highlight for you now. But basically, all conversations about the fund and the commission work need to be done in a public forum. So that's these forums. You are also not to take action or have discussion that's not on the meeting agenda. So if you have any questions, you can always contact us about any of this, or if anything's unclear, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this or not, like, just feel free to ask us. That's the top level Brown Act slide. In the next. The other things that we just want to make sure you're aware of is that being on a commission, your communications about fund work are subject to the Public Records Act, which means that members of the public can request to see the communications that are happening about it. So we would request that you use the city assigned email when doing commission work if possible. We do know that it might be hard to remember to check that all the time, and you might find it's easier to use your personal email. So if you do that, we suggest to include your city email in the CC line on all communications about the fund or the fund commission. So if by chance you're accidentally put on an email with all of you on it, don't reply all, because that is happening. Communications happening in private, which is just a violation of the Brown Act there. So really communications about this group should just be with staff. That's kind of just there's probably exceptions to that, but just as a golden rule, just to be safe, that's what we're recommending. And this does also apply to text messages as well. So it's email and text. I see Jeffrey already has a question, and I will say our city attorney assigned to this was unable to make it tonight. And so he is definitely going to be the one at next meeting to get into the weeds of this all. We just wanted to put it out there just to make sure you're thinking about these kinds of things and really learning about those responsibilities. So if you have any questions about that, you can email us and we'll get you the contact information for Daniel Sasweta, who's the attorney assigned to this commission. I think I'll take Jeffrey's question.
Yeah,
Since,
thanks. And this is something I struggle with, why the city presents the Brown Act as saying that commissioners cannot have discussions on any item outside of a public forum. I mean, what the Brown Act says is that a majority of commissioners cannot have a discussion on any particular item and make decisions outside of a public forum. And I mean, I know the city attorney, for some reason, always likes to make the assertion in these briefings that the Brown Act says more than what it actually says. And so, I mean, I think particularly because we have some folks here who are new to serving in these commissions, I think it would be better in our next meeting to get what the Brown Act actually says as opposed to what the city attorney's office would prefer. Just so folks know what their rights are as commission members to have some limited conversations with other commissioners, as long as you're not having a discussion with the majority of the commissioners on any given item. So I would appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And it'll be excellent to ask those questions of Daniel Sasweta. And just there are pitfalls that happen in an unintended way, where people might have a conversation with 2 or 3 people and then have another conversation with another 2 or 3 people. And in that instance, you could have well gone over the majority. So there are some guide rails, but to your point, you'll be able to ask, see what is written and ask why, if there's a difference, it is advised, as you're mentioning, Jeff.
Great. So thank you, Jeffrey, for that question. And I'm going to pass it back to my colleague Frank to ask some exit questions for you all.
Thank you, Christian. I know someone in this room can find this to be sort of really structured and really intimidating. That someone is me. I know some other folks might feel the same way, right? We want to build an environment that is inclusive and that feels safe. And that means that everyone in this room had to feel comfortable participating fully and holding all of us here accountable. That being the case, I want to acknowledge 2 realities. This commission is going to have conversations that are multifaceted and that sometimes can be complicated, right? And it is always okay to ask for clarification if there's anything that is not understood. The other thing is that there will also be difficult decisions that this commission is going to have to make. And that means that there are going to be difficult conversations, and that's okay. And so that being the case, we want to have a discussion about what it would mean to set group agreements in order for this space to be what I just said we intend for it to be. Group agreements are really guidelines, right? Instructions that we can all get on the same page about, that really will allow for everybody to bring their full self to the conversation. And that will make for a lively conversation with different opinions, with different priorities, and hopefully the right decision for the community. So we're gonna go around the room again, and we're gonna ask all of you 3 questions, really 2 questions. The first question is, are there any group agreements that come to mind that you would like to include for us to keep reminding ourselves as we continue to meet in the coming months? The question is really, how can we build a sense of community in this room, right? Despite the structure, despite the complications sometimes. The second question really is going to be about tonight. This is the first meeting. We are building a plane as we fly it, really, as it was mentioned before. So give us some feedback, whether it's positive or whether it's constructive. We want to hear what things worked about this for you and what didn't, and we ought to change. So I'm going to start with Commissioner Asen to the right, and I'm going to want to move left in the dais. If you need more time, you can just say, we'll come back to you. That's okay. If there is a question that you do not have an answer for, that is okay. Answer what you can or what you want to. We'll move on to the next person. Go ahead.
Sure, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I think one idea for the group agreements, just because everybody's coming at this from a different perspective, more opportunities to just go around the table so we can hear from everyone's perspective. The second thing I think is obviously there's going to be a lot of I would say downtime in between the meetings. Any opportunity for this group to get together again, it doesn't have to be about commission business, but for either a social outing so we can get to know each other a little bit better also would be really great. And then lastly, thanks so much for having us. This meeting went really great. I think that's it. I'll pass it to the next person.
Pues solamente agradezco.
I just want to thank.
Solamente agradezco la inclusión,
The
¿verdad?
inclusivity,
Porque en realidad necesitamos la opinión de todos.
because we really need
Y
everyone's opinion.
esto es nuevo para mí.
This is new for me.
Estoy
I
aprendiendo,
am learning,
pero
but
hay muchas cosas, palabras técnicas a veces que no
there are
entiendo.
there are many
pero,
technical words that I might not understand.
Agradezco la ayuda de las personas
But
que
I
han estado en comunicación
Thank
contigo.
the help of
Y
the people that have been
espero
communicating with me,
poder ayudar
and I
y que
hope
me
that I can
ayuden.
help and that you can help me as well.
Gracias.
Thank you.
As for group agreements, I believe that it is important to honor cultural competency and just just be in consideration of all of the people in the room and the different lived experience we bring to the table. Besides that, how can we build a sense of community in this commission? I believe I agree with what was said earlier about perhaps maybe retreats, bonding, things like that, connection building. We all sit on different boards and just have different connections to the community. And I think that this offers a good opportunity to collaborate if wanting to. And so that would be amazing. Input for today's meeting, I think it went very smoothly. I was a little anxious about this because it's my first time being in a meeting like this. But overall, I would say that I felt comfortable and I felt like I could understand things. So that was good, and just keep up with that. Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you.
Sí, es mi primera vez estando
This is
en
my
este grupo
first time
y
being in this group,
me siento muy bien.
and I feel
Siento
very
que
well.
vamos a
I
aportar
feel that we will give our input
todos los beneficios que van a ocupar todas las comunidades. Y
for
quiero
all the
aportar
benefits that
también
the community will need,
para toda mi gente, mi raza,
for all my people, for my raza, my race,
que poderlas ayudar a lo más que puedo.
to be able to help as much as I can,
Ayudarlos
help them
y seguir adelante.
and continue going forward.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Raymond Ramsey. I think the biggest consideration is that we respect different points of view, that we never engage in personal attacks on each other. And I take this responsibility with great humility for my brothers and sisters who are still out there on the streets every day, undergoing abatements and losing their property, and that I sit here representing their voices as well.
Josefina Aguilar, just want to thank everyone involved in organizing this. I have been on the other side of the counter, so they say, as a city employee, and so I know how much work it takes to put something like this together. So I appreciate that it went very well, very smoothly. An idea for group agreements is to encourage people that maybe are not as used to speaking in public to feel more comfortable doing so. And those of us who may speak more or are more comfortable to step back a little bit. I'm guilty. I've never been accused of not speaking too much. So I think that's an important element so that we can encourage everyone to participate. And then how can we build a sense of community? I agree with the comment already made about perhaps having some kind of social interaction with each other. I think that's a really good way of networking and getting to know each other better. Thank you.
I think for me, for group agreements, it's really important to listen to understand. I think that it will help if to avoid being like dismissive of other people's thoughts if we somehow acknowledge that we hear them. We don't always have to repeat back what they said, but some sort of acknowledgement so people understand that they were heard and feel listened to. And then I I think if our meetings continue in the evening, then for building a community, we should think about some kind of dinner because some of us come straight from work, and I think it's a lot to ask folks to wait till after the commission meeting to have food, and I think it's always a good way to build community to break bread with each other. And for me, I really appreciate everything that's gone into this meeting. From my experience tonight, I think, of course, getting the documents ahead of time, seeing everything in this binder, and I'm just thinking, like, was this sent to me ahead of time? Did I already have this and miss it? I would have loved to had been able to review the things that are in the binder before tonight. And through I'm just wondering, I don't know how much we can shape the format of the presentations, but I think for myself, hearing the whole presentation before getting an opportunity to um, ask questions or check for understanding, if there could be some moments throughout the presentations, especially since we're going to get into more dense material, to check in and make sure at the very least that we're all able to follow would be helpful.
Yeah, in terms of a group agreement, and I realize that I probably do this. You know, I'm a fast talker, and I think that it's really novel, it's really unique and important that we have live interpretation that is happening for a number of our commissioners. And so it'd be helpful for maybe like someone in the staff box if like any of us start to talk too fast. You know, I know there's different like hand motions and things like that that facilitators can make to support live interpretation. And so like we can figure something out like that. I think that would be helpful for those of us that sometimes get impassioned and talk fast. And secondly, for building community, this is a large body, and like I'm trying my best to try to take notes about people's names and things. Maybe for a couple of meetings, we could try like saying our names before when we comment, so then we can kind of like all learn each other's names and stuff. I'm gonna try my best regardless, but I think that might be smart. So and yeah, just deep appreciation for how this meeting has been run. You know, I love to see Christian and Frank in the box there, and you know, Lori and Nancy have been wonderful throughout the process to bring us to this point. And so what a great, you know, set of folks on the dais, and like set of a team that's going to be running these meetings. It's really phenomenal. So yeah, it's not always phenomenal, it turns out, in how some of these city commissions are run. So I deep appreciate it.
Well, I would add that, and I echo Raymond's statement that for our group agreements, I like the idea of like taking a step forward when you need to and leaning into conversations as well as taking a step back and listening. I would also add that to be patient, especially since we have interpreters here, and really ensure that all of us are waiting until the very end of those conversations, and that the individuals that are listening to that interpreter are finished with the entire statement. As far as to build a sense of community, I really would like to hear the aligned goal, that the reason why we're all here at the beginning of every commission. I think bringing us back together to what that really was will really ground us as to why we're here and present. And then I would just have to thank Lori and Zach for all the emails and keeping me specifically on track prior to this meeting. And I think it's been excellent so far. So thank you.
For me to, for the agreements, I think be respectful more than anything, but also kind of be an open mind. There's a lot of us. We have different ideas. We're going to have different ideas. We're going to have different opinions, and be open minded about that. Agree with her, be patient. I think there's a lot of us are new to this. I've never been in a commission. I've never been in a board, so I'm new. So I feel a little bit weird sitting here, to be honest. But also, I think we can for the build the sense of community. I think we can also check on each other once in a while. You know, like how you're feeling, or I don't know if you need anything. I think I would like to know more about us here, a little bit more about backgrounds, where they're from or something. Maybe we can do a meeting, so we can just socialize and can, learn from each other. I think that would be great. How I went to that, it was really good. It went great. I feel very welcome. I want to thank you guys for welcoming. I felt really special when you guys had me enter the room. I was kind of nervous when I entered a room and I saw you guys with your smiley face. Kind of made my day. I was like, okay, I feel good. I'm gonna be okay. So yeah, it's for me. Thank you.
Yummy. Yamamoto. Definitely, I introduced myself. A couple things. One, for the group of agreements, I think to acknowledge that we've asked the folks on this body to be vulnerable, and that as we conduct business, that's really done in a way that fosters trust, and acknowledges that there's best intent. I also think we should agree to go at the pace of everybody on this body. So, at the particularly of the community representatives on this commission. So sometimes that might mean taking things a little bit taking things a little bit slower, or sometimes I can imagine we might need to respond to things with a little bit more urgency. Last, about the input, I really like that there are questions here to kind of encourage participation. I also would suggest that perhaps, I know this is just the first meeting, but to directly encourage some of the sharing of experiences, since I think that's where a lot of the expertise is going to lie, and how we're making recommendations and moving forward. So thank you. I appreciate the work done today.
This is Josh. About building a sense of community. I'm wondering how committed we are to having this meeting in chambers and sitting up at the dais, because I feel really far away from the people at the other end of the at the other end of the dais. And I think like the structure of the dais is about speaking to the public and speaking to staff, but it's not so much about speaking to each other within this commission. So if the intent is to build community within the commission, you know, it would be nicer to be in a smaller room around a table together. So, you know, that's just one thought. I mean, I understand how important it's important to be here for like public access, but there are other ways to accomplish public access and have a commission meeting as well. And then just to second what Asen brought up first, but other folks, of course, also seconded. It would be really nice to have some sort of social outing to get to know people, you know, for building community.
Monique Melchor, I just want to say, I think one idea for the group agreement is to really be present. There's a lot of us here, and sometimes we get sidetracked or, you know, having different conversations. But I think to really be present and make sure everyone's in tune with what's happening, so that when you're all having the conversations, everyone's understanding what's being said, and I think that can move you all forward. So really being present in the moment, I think, is really good for the group agreements. We have a lot of electronics that we deal with from time to time, maybe putting those aside, and making sure we all are in the present, so that we can hear everyone and be respectful of their time and dedication to what you're all about too. So it's really exciting. My sense of community, I love to get to know people. So I'm like excited just to get to know all of you. I have lots of questions that I ask everyone. I'm not nosy, it's just I love to get to know people. I'm from San Jose, born and raised. I live in San Jose and I work for the city of San Jose. So I love to hear what other people's backgrounds are from. So I'm really looking forward to learning all about you. And then today's meeting was great because as a city employee too, you get to put these on and it's a lot of work. So yeah, you guys did an outstanding job. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're going to get to the non-voting members in a moment. Momentous occasion because we're going to have our first vote, albeit informal. I do want to ask if folks feel, you know, the chamber is a good place for meetings going forward, not or neutral. Okay, so we're just going to take a quick informal vote. People felt good being here. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. Yeah, so we'll make sure to capture that.
I saw that earlier. Okay. I'm seeing a mix.
Yeah, definitely a mix. We'll get back to you on this.
The reason we're taking the pulse check is we did have this scheduled in the wing committee rooms and got a curveball last week that it wasn't going to be available after all. And so this was one of the few big enough rooms with the technology that we needed. So it wasn't planned that way, but if we'll look at the video reel here and decide just kind of moving forward what other options there might be. So.
Great. And if folks have, obviously, if people have any more context to add, you can feel free to reach out to us and let us know your thoughts. But I do want to check in with the non-voting members on these questions. We can start over with Connie.
Hello? Okay, so for the first one, as to the group agreement, I would collaboration and partnership of the group, which that's what we're basically here to do. As to community sense of the commission is learning from each other, like we all said, taking each one of you, that each one of us is a resource to this commission. And I would love to learn from each one of you. What is that you guys have to offer? And all of us are here for that purpose. And on today's meeting, a clear expectation of what you guys want us to have prepared for you so we can collaborate in every meeting ahead of time.
Again, this is Ricardo Benavides. Thank you, staff. Thank you, Winter. Thank you, translators. Thank you, fellow commissioners. I'm looking forward to going through this journey with each of you and learning from either all of you. An input is that we're going to be discussing and addressing some very complex, complicated topics. And I'm wondering if there's a forum by which we could share, whether it's articles, readings, podcasts, things that would potentially allow us to be baselined as we get into discussion around what are some of the opportunities and solutions that we will want to discuss and contemplate.
Appreciate all the feedback and suggestions. So I think we were all taking notes up here. I do want to just remind you all, we've requested for short bios. We've gotten a couple of them, but our thinking on that is that we would put it on the very front of your binders. So it would just be quick, easy reminders as you're getting to know each other, as we're getting to know you, just have a kind of a one pager with those bios on there. So one of the little tricks, but definitely heard you on the social gatherings as well. So I think we're going to just open it up. If there was other comments that if you went early on and have, oh, I want to say one more thing, like just if there's other questions or comments that the commissioners want to make.
You can simply raise your hand. Okay.
I don't feel strongly either way about either meeting in a committee room or meeting here. But I would like to encourage anybody who might want to think about running for office, get comfortable with this because this is where you would do the business, and we certainly need a lot more diversity on our council.
Thank you for that. Anyone else? Okay. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Christian.
Great. So we're nearing an end. I'm going to share a little bit about looking ahead. So you all had a bunch of different suggestions. Thank you so much for thinking deeply about that. And I think we will definitely take that into consideration for the next meeting. We want to figure out some dates. But before that, Laura already mentioned what's going to happen over the next 4 meetings. But for the next one, anticipated in August, we'll do a training with you all by the city attorney's office. Jeffrey and many of you probably have a lot of different questions, and that is your time to ask them to the city attorney for them to answer right then and there. We'll come up with a bylaws. We already have a starting point for our group agreements based off our discussion today and what you shared. So we'll foment that and come up with those agreements and maybe even have it written out for us and displayed for us for every meeting, just as reminders. I really appreciate whoever said centering ourselves with a mission. And I think that's something that we could probably incorporate as well. And I think that's a really good point, to center ourselves at every meeting with that and remind ourselves why we're here. And then we'll have an introduction to the RFP process. So I'm not sure if it was spelled out. RFP stands for request for proposals. So the proposals that we gather from different organizations or whatnot, that process will be introduced to you. So someone mentioned homework. There is a lot of homework, and I think, we'll be sure to send all the documents out in advance. We want to be a resource for you all as city staff, consultant staff. So reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out if you have any questions. We're here for you. So we'll ask you to complete the trainings and other requirements in the clerk's welcome letter. And again, if you have questions, please feel free to let us know. There are quite a lot of trainings. So let us know if you have trouble accessing them or completing them. Oh, there's some extra credit from Lori.
Extra credit. So since we will be presenting draft bylaws, and I already hinted that we're going to take the template, but potentially recommend some changes to that. The template is available, and we'll send a follow-up email. It's embedded in Council Policy 0-4. If you want to Google that one, you can get right to it. But we'll send a shortcut as well. And so that if that will just help you get familiar with the format of the bylaws that we'll be using. And if something in there immediately jumps out as, oh my gosh, that sounds horrible, or, oh, I really like that, you can reach out to me directly to just, as we're preparing for that next meeting, to just start providing early feedback on that. Totally extra credit. The idea of giving you a draft to review and discuss is so that you can really get focused quickly at the meeting and you're not having all the extra work of starting from scratch on that. So, but if you want to start from scratch, that's an option.
Okay, everybody. So as we approach the end of our meeting here today, we're going to open up the space for members of the public to share any comments and
Actually, sorry, there was one more slide. One more slide, important slide about meeting options, selecting the date. Sorry about that. So we're gonna try to see if we could schedule the next two. If you all can take a moment, if you can look into your calendars, we'll see if we can do it now. If not, we'll send some communications over a doodle or something. But for now, for August, the meeting, just a show of hands. Do we want to do this right now, Lori? Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah, you can, do any of these states absolutely not work for any of you all? Olivia, which state? Thursdays are really hard. Okay. And Melchor? And October 16th. Melchor. Okay. So that's good information for us. This may be on one of the Mondays. And if there's any other dates, if you find you can't make any of these dates, please email us and we'll connect with you. And hopefully we get these dates solidified soon. Great. Thanks. That was quicker than I thought. All right, now time for public comment. I'll pass it back to Frank.
as I was saying, we're going to have some space now for some public comment. If you are here in person, you're wanting to submit one last minute comment, we have some yellow cards. You can just walk over and pass it on to us. We are going to start with folks online. I want to remind you, you can use the raised hand feature on Zoom, which will indicate that you would like to speak, and we will call on you in the order in which you raised your hand. Once we finish with the virtual comments, we will move on to the in-person comments, and I will now pass it on to Zach to call on some folks.
Thank you very much. We have two hands raised. I'll start with Elena. Elena, I am going to allow you to talk, and then I'll start the timer, and feel free to give your comments.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alina. Good evening, commissioners, and congratulations on your historic appointment for these historic times that we're living in. You have a tremendous task ahead of you at setting a new precedent, not only for the city of San Jose, but for other cities to follow when it comes to development. And I can't see how many are on Zoom watching or how many people are in the chambers tonight. But my question is, what is the commission's community engagement plan, and how will these meetings be advertised? And, will the contents of those binders also be available for public viewing online? I know there was a web page on the commission, and is that where the public should check in to stay up to date? I know I wasn't exactly, I follow all of the newsletters for the council members and mayors, and this meeting was not listed in any of the newsletters. I've also been on the mailing list for this project for several years, and I didn't get an email reminder for tonight or anything. And I know it took a lot of work to create this moment, and I would appreciate knowing and understanding what are the plans to truly include the community in this process alongside you. Outside of that, I do look forward to how this will all unfold. And I know for the Charter Commission, we had a lot of very interesting study sessions. And so I really look forward to learning alongside you. And I wish all of you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to now pass it to Paul Soto. Paul Soto, you should now be able to speak and start your time when you do.
Thank you, Paul Soto from the Horseshoe. First of all, I'd like to request that these videos be posted online, just like every other meeting, that they're posted, not a request that to the city that you provide them. I want them on YouTube, just like the rest of the meetings. Secondly, Google reneged on the deal when they shut down construction because payment is contingent on office space. That's what Lori said. She was very explicit about that. So they reneged on this deal. Thirdly, red line documents be used to consider who and where housing should be built, or to amend the inequities and the racialized policies that Google used in their document to sell this deal to the public. They use redlining all over that document. So unless redlining is centered in the, and I trust that I trust Josh, I trust Regina, and I trust RJ. That's it. The rest of you have to earn it, because I'm going to be at every single one of these meetings. I do not speak Spanish because of the way that my mother was treated in San Jose Unified School District. There is a disgusting history of racism that Google referenced in their documents that they were trying to mend, but they just called it redlining. But it was racialized policies that created this fund. And I was denied access to I should be on this committee. Why? Who of you on this group can trace their lineage and legacy to Salsipuedes? I have pictures of my father's in a tent in Salsipuedes when he was 3. The abuses that went on in that barrio need to be centered within the context of this conversation, or you know what, this whole entire committee is illegitimate. So you're going to get to know me if we don't. And centering public comments in the beginning of these meetings. If we're going to talk about the public, I want public comment at the very beginning of these meetings, not at the end. Because if we're serious about centering the public in the community, well then, you know what, we go first. I'm done.
And we have no more hands at this time.
Thank you, Zach. With that, we're going to move on to our in-person commenters.
Yeah, so we have one member of the public here in person, Leticia Alvarez. If you want to come up to the podium, please. You also have 2 minutes.
Good evening, members of the commission, members of a commissioner. My name is Leticia Alvarez. I'm a community organizer with Sacred Heart Community Service Organization, and I'm just here to say thank you for your time and for your efforts to be here to represent the community. We know that Google had promised 200 millions for the community for housing situations that the community is going through. So I just want to say thank you and my gratitude, especially for those who is the first time being in something like this. I can understand how hard it is and how nervous people felt about it. So this is a new journey for all of you. So my gratitude for all of you in general, but especially for those who is the first time in taking the risk to do this. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. With that, we don't have any more public comment.
Final call for members of the public. All right, well, appreciate everyone who joined us virtually, provided public comment for all your considerations. We really did take notes, and for those who came in person as well. At this time, I think do I pass it back? We're adjourned.